Sometimes I get down and I have to bring myself back and say, no, you know what, that's not the way it's going to work, because you have to control your thought life. I do, because I could get pretty depressed otherwise.
Fred Smith is a father, a carpenter, and by necessity, an avid bike rider. He's also homeless. Some bad choices landed him there.
Not all bad choices, but a few bad choices, and then just, it's hard to see how it developed, I went to a rehab program instead of going back and putting myself in the same position.
Every morning, rain or shine, homeless clients exit the Lancaster Community Shelter at 7:30 a.m. to begin their day on the streets.
We sleep in the back, 6 men to an area, and you got your 6 men who've got their own bathroom and closet and stuff, and so that's where we sleep on army cots.
Regardless how he sleeps at night, his day begins the same.
Fred, what do you do if you wake up in the morning here and you don't feel well? Do you have to leave?
Yes.
Fortunately for Fred, most days he feels fine, so off he goes.
There's usually a place that feeds breakfast around town, so I have a list, and so like I'll go over to St. Vincent de Paul today, and I'll sit there until 9 o'clock is when they start feeding. I'll read my Bible, just hang out, so talk to people that I know. After
that, Fred is unwavering about pursuit of his chief priority.
Get a job first and foremost, because that would help me pay my rent, somewhere, even if it's a room or what have you. And then from there, just start saving money and, get myself established at a good job, something that's long-term. Start paying those taxes and, because I'm getting older.
So he heads over to the Career Center where he spends hours.
I put out my resume, I look for work, see what is in the work market out there, and just try to make contact with somebody that's hiring.
But it hasn't been easy. He hasn't heard back.
I'm used to the old days where you just walk up on the job site and you say, hey, I'm looking for work and this is what I know, and usually get hired right away. Construction is what I've been in most of my life, and being 57, I'm sort of looking for something different, but I can still do that. I just have to stay healthy.
Once upon a time, Fred says he even did some movie stunt work, recalling the film Metal Storm, where he crashed cars.
At this point in time, I'm willing to do anything, wash dishes, whatever it takes, just to have a job.
Something Fred's friends at the shelter want too.
They all had homes or jobs. I know people here that had jobs for like 14 years and stuff, and then got laid off, lost their home, lost their way, and they're just trying, like I am, trying to get back up, and be part of the community, take care of business.
Public officials like Assemblyman Tom Lackey have taken notice.
The real frustration with this problem is it's not stereotypical, the person that just has a mental illness. They've lost their job and they are homeless.
U.S. Congressman Steve Knight says the problem is twofold: a weak economy and weak resources.
Once you've got a job, things get better in life. They really do. So that's one of the first things, is a more thriving economy. The second thing is resources and what we can do here at the city level. It's been a problem that we haven't gotten enough money from the county coming over the hill, and so it's a constant fight.
A fight in which some would like to see this northern tip of Los Angeles County gain some ground.
Our homeless population, we get $277 per person. In LA, they get $4,500 per person. That's our biggest problem, is to get the representation and get the proper funding that we have for our district.
Grace Resources, the organization that runs the Lancaster Community Shelter and Food Bank, says they appreciate what the county does.
But as a whole, Antelope Valley is a stepkid of LA County, and so if you just look at the numbers of funds paid for services, it just doesn't equate at all.
Though that's changing, says people who help track the area's homeless.
Now we have updated figures, and in this past fall, we've received so many more grants for our area in very broad numbers. I would say 5 years ago we were getting about $2 million a year for our homeless programs. Today we're getting over $6.5 million. That's a big difference.
Coming up in part 2 of this series, we pick up with Fred midday and learn more about his experiences and expectations. In Lancaster, Barbara Sharp for Spectrum News.